Hello and welcome to episode 176 of Hustle and Pro. I'm your host, Kelly Walker, and our guest today, I'm very excited about. Our guest today is Trish Holt. She is head golf professional here at PGA. We're in Frisco today, but I want to rewind a tad bit and see sort of your background as like a youth golfer, where you grew up, and kind of when golf became a part of your life.
Sure. So I actually grew up here in Frisco. So I went to Frisco High School. Whenever I graduated, there were 4 high schools, and now I think there's 12. Just fell in love with the game with my dad. My dad was the one that brought me into the game, and I would just go out for fun with him, and then realized I absolutely loved it, and he got me into golf lessons and played through high school, played in college, and ended up here somehow.
So how old you might have said, but what was the age that you actually started? Like you picked up your first club and started playing?
Probably when I was 6 years old.
6,
yeah.
Okay.
And that was just
That's
once
young.
a month, go ride around with my dad in the golf cart, take a couple swings. And then probably when I was 10, I actually would say I started like playing golf a little bit more seriously.
Yeah. And then high school golf. So you went to Frisco High School.
Frisco High School.
So you golfed for Frisco High School.
I did, yes.
And meanwhile, you're probably golfing outside of high school also.
A lot of tournaments outside of high school. It's actually really cool. My high school coach, Mary Black, she's still there. So that's really cool. I've gotten to see her out here a couple times because she brings the Frisco High School golf team out here. So that was really cool too.
Another cool part of this development
absolutely.
is how many Frisco ISD high school players get to be out here.
Yes.
So that's cool in itself. So tell me about some of the highlights when you think about your youth playing days.
I did qualify for the U.S. Women's Amateur Championship. That was really exciting. I was in college at that point, but I did qualify for that, I think my sophomore year of college. One of my other teammates qualified as well, so my coach came, a couple friends came, our families came and got to watch us play. That was pretty exciting. It was in Charleston, South Carolina. Yeah, it was really, really cool. That was definitely a highlight. I had a really good senior year in college, and I finished runner-up at our NCAA championship. So that was a really special way to round out the season. So those were 2 of my probably biggest highlights, I would say.
And so you were at Bowling Green, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So why there? Was that a point in high school that they became on your radar, or was there something specific about going there that you were looking forward to?
Yeah, so my coach at Bowling Green, she actually recruited really heavily in the kind of the Dallas Metroplex. There were a bunch of girls from Texas that went through that golf program, which is kind of random a little bit to go all the way to Northwest Ohio.
But there are these pockets, these pockets of schools around the country that have certain sports that pull from certain regions, or players just kind of migrate to there for whatever reason.
Right, and there's a ton of junior golf in this area specifically, and junior girls golf, which is wonderful. There's a ton of junior golf tours, a lot of options to be able to play tournament golf. So she recruited really heavily from here, and I think there were probably, in the span that I was there were 4 or 5 of us that were actually from the same area.
That's nice.
That went through that program. So that was cool to have that Texas connection all the way up in Ohio.
Makes it comfortable.
Yes, a little bit more comfortable. It was a long way to go. It was really cold up there, but it was a long way to go for school, especially being from here and loving it here. That was a really big change, but
so then maybe that's the answer to my next question. When you think about challenges and struggles, when I talk to high school athletes or even pro athletes, when we look back on their journey, some of the sacrifices that they had to make to get where they are, or just the struggles, injuries, whatever. What about you? Like in the golf world, what were some of the hard parts for you as a player?
Yeah, I was really fortunate that I never suffered any injuries playing. So I was very, very fortunate in that regard. For me, traveling so far away from home was really, really hard. I love it here. Obviously, I came back as soon as I could. And I didn't know anybody, so I didn't have any friends or anything going to school up there, and I really struggled my first 2 years of college. I didn't play very well up there. The conditions were very, very different.
Just the adjustment.
The adjustment was really, really hard. The grass is different. It's really, really cold. You play in a lot more elements up there than you do here. Here it's hot and windy, and
factors you
there
have
it's
to factor in.
Cold and rainy, and
you're what, 18?
Yes.
And you're on your own.
On your own.
Like I mean, golf is individual, but at the same time, you have a support system around you, right? So you have people to bounce things off of that are probably constantly watching and helping you adjust.
Right.
You get there,
on your
system
own.
Is
they're
gone.
not there. I was my coach. I had the same coach growing up, all through junior golf, all through college, and then even after college. And I would take lessons weekly, and that it was a safety cushion for me. Just go check in, make sure everything looks good, and then when you go up to school and you're far away, I'm sending him videos when I'm trying to fix it all on my own. And so I really struggled with my game the first 2 years of college. My dad actually had to fly up a couple times just to come and mentally try and calm me down and stable me a little bit. And he would come to my tournaments, and it was just a calming presence to have him there.
I bet.
And then as I adjusted, I got more comfortable and I was able to kind of learn more about my game specifically and how do I fix my own game without having my support system there. Yeah. So it was a lot to learn at that stage.
That is a lot. Yeah. And that brings there's so many other factors besides the physical part of this sport that comes into play. So I guess let's talk a little about that. So I introduced you as head golf professional. Mm-hmm. This is not your first rodeo of that title, right? I mean, it's a big title here. Mm-hmm. It's a big place, but you've been a golf professional at other places and courses, right? So tell me, when you're head golf professional or golf pro at a course, so we don't always know what that means.
Right.
People like me don't know what that means.
Yes.
Well, I can think everything from, you're not a pro golfer. Mm-hmm. You aren't, I don't know, tell me, you're not coaching pro golfers. My guess is that you are day in and day out training and coaching amateur golfers or members of PGA. So set me straight. What are you actually, what's your day to day?
So that's part of it. What most people don't understand, so I'm a PGA golf professional. I got a PGA certification through the PGA of America. It's almost like having another degree, like a degree in golf, basically. Right. But I run
through PGA.
Through the PGA of America. Yeah. Yep. It's an education program that you go through. It took me 3 years to get through the program. A lot of people can do it a lot faster, but you are working while you're going through that program. And it's more on the business side of golf, so the business side of operating a golf facility. Okay. So that's where I spend the majority of my time managing a day-to-day operation, managing a team, managing a staff, managing all of the events and tournaments that we put on here.
So you're some less of it is hands-on with the golfers and more managing the people that are hands-on with the golfers.
Right. So I teach a little bit. But there's kind of two different career paths you would take within golf. You would stick more to the operational side, which is what I've done, or you would stick to the teaching and coaching side. So you've got PGA professionals that are full-time coaches, and you've got PGA professionals that are more on the operational side.
So you can have both.
You can have both.
Now I understand yours. Yeah. So I know that you talk about fostering the love of the game through coaching and creating memorable experiences. So that makes a little more sense now that I hear those two paths. So how do you feel that you're getting the chance to do that here?
I think this facility is so special. There's really nothing else like it. And the fact that it's in our backyard here where I grew up is very, very special. I think the greatest place to really create memorable experiences and grow the game is our district area that houses the swing, which is our short course, and the dance floor, which is the 2-acre putting course. I think that's such a great place to introduce people to the game of golf.
I do too.
That wouldn't necessarily, they're not going to come and play on an 18-hole golf course, but they can still be introduced to the game and have fun and make it more of a social setting, and then start to realize, oh, you know what, this is actually kind of fun. Maybe I might want to take a golf lesson. Yeah. So I think just having the facility alone in order to do that is really, really special. And then the programming that we design and just staffing the day-to-day operation and making this available for our guests to come enjoy, I think that alone really creates opportunities for memorable experiences.
Right, and the memorable experiences, you mentioned events, and you have a lot of events out here as a development, as PGA Frisco. As I'm looking over at the big wall there where you guys do, I think last night was movies, and there's children out here, right? And so I feel like that's intentional.
Right.
And so as we look out over the dance floor, I see parents with little kids, like toddlers, out there a lot. Yes. And obviously, this is not a formal golf setting where these toddlers have to hold the putter right. Nothing's, intimidating. Is that what y'all want? Do you want to see kids out there just trying and getting used to it.
That's the intention. I think one of the coolest things that I've seen is to have a movie playing on the jumbo screen and having people and kids just putting in the background while watching a movie outside. Yeah. How cool is that? Cool. To see people enjoying the game while at another activity. And I think that's really special. But that's exactly what the purpose of this very public-facing space is.
I do too. And I mean, I heard about it for a while. But until you come out here and try it and figure that, just get your bearings. So as a family, we got to kind of taste it all one night. We did an appetizer in Lounge by Topgolf, and then, or maybe checked in to play on the par 3 course, had an appetizer where we waited. We went and played. We putted after. We sat on the patio at Ice House, right?
You did it all.
Had more food, watched more people, which was fun when the sun's setting, watching the people tee off on the swing. And after, I think, putted again, because then it was like dark and
lights are on, music's on.
And all of this was happening while there was a movie night. So they were just, the vibe was cool.
Right, really relaxed. It's really fun.
So y'all have done a really good job of making that all come together, because it's happening in real life. And people like me, Frisco residents, we're enjoying it.
Yes.
When we talk about young people coming into the sport, I feel for girls, it is a hugely valuable skill to start early. As it's a lifelong, for anyone it's a lifelong skill, but there's this opportunity for females.
I completely agree.
For young girls, I feel like start early so that when you are in high school, it's a kind of easy thing to go play on the team, and then that opens up your college options.
Right, it definitely does. I'm not sure if this is still the stat I'm not sure if this stat is still true, but when I was in college, women's golf scholarships were the most unused scholarships. And so girls that played golf have a real opportunity to help support themselves through college just by playing a game and getting to be a part of a team and a part of a community through your college experience.
Right. And there's so many competitive sports, especially around here, that kids will play for their whole life. Yes. And those scholarships are really hard to get.
They are really hard to get.
They're sparse, and so I think you're right, because I have a child finishing high school, and just in the 4 years, in these current 4 years, the golf coaches come in and are begging girls. So it's like, yes,
come join
there's
the
still
team.
a need. There's still these holes to fill in that
Please come
sport.
join the team. Please come play. They'll recruit athletes from other sports whenever it's
it was volleyball season was ending.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's like last day volleyball, the coaches are like, come on.
Which come play golf.
I hate that they have to do that, but I love that they do it, and hopefully they're getting more players.
Right.
But as these kind of facilities are open in this area, I'm hoping more young girls see it at age 5, 6, 7, and then it's like their normal. It's a normal sport in their Rolodex in high school.
Yeah, and it's something that you can use this sport in business opportunities as you're older. You can use it in networking opportunities. You can go play. It's really a useful skill that when people play this game later in life. So introducing to the game, even just casually or just for fun, it will benefit you in the long run. Just to say, oh yeah, you know what? I've played golf some. I can go and join this scramble team for my company, and you can really use that skill.
When you're at Bowling Green, finishing up your college career as a golfer, if I would have said, or if you were interviewing for a job and I would have said, what do you want to do in 5 to 10 years? Where do you want to be? Would the reality of being a head golf professional at PGA in Frisco, Texas, even be like a thing you could have dreamt would be a possibility at that time?
In Frisco, absolutely not. Having our headquarters here in Frisco, absolutely not. I had no idea that was in process, on the radar. I remember when it was announced that the PGA of America was moving their headquarters to Frisco, Texas, and I was like, wait, my Frisco that I live in. It's coming here of all the places. That's so special. I knew going into college, I knew that I wanted to be a golf professional. I knew that I wanted to work on the business and operational side of golf. And so when I went to school, there's actually 2 routes to get your PGA certification. So you can do the program after you graduate, which is what I did. And also there's some universities that provide the degree as you go through your university. So Sam Houston State is a prime example in Texas. So you can get your college degree, and your specialization is in professional golf management, and you get your PGA certification. So my school didn't offer that program. That was the program I wanted wanted to do. My school didn't offer that program.
So you have to wait till you're after.
So I had to wait until
kind of like
after.
a master's.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know?
It's your specialization degree.
That's very cool.
And so I knew that was what I wanted to pursue. And so I did sport management as my degree. And so I had to do an internship with that degree, and I chose to do it in golf. And so I came back for the summer and did my internship at a golf course. And that,
in the North Texas area?
Yep, in Frisco, actually.
Frisco.
And so that was where I then landed my first assistant golf professional job. When I graduated school, I returned back to that facility.
Okay.
And so that's where I started. So I always knew I wanted to be a golf professional, but I never dreamed that I would be the head golf professional at PGA Frisco here.
Right. So when you got your certification, was it something to where you would go to their then headquarters in Florida and do things?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. You know a lot about it.
So you were traveling from here to there to continue your either education or just be, involvement.
So you're required you have to be working at a PGA recognized facility while you are in the program to get your certification. So I was an assistant golf professional. You would travel to Port St. Lucie in Florida. So we would go for a week for seminars and classes, and then we would come back and we'd have coursework and bookwork and things that we'd have to complete on our own. And so it took me about a year to get through, maybe a little over a year to get through the first level. Once you finish the first level and you do all of your tests, then you go back into your level 2 seminar. So I went back to Florida 3 times. So now everyone actually comes here to do all of their education.
Like it's just kind of all come together for you for growing up here. I love that. So we are in the clubhouse.
Yes, we were in the Fields Ranch Clubhouse.
Fields Ranch Clubhouse.
We were actually upstairs in the Club 1916 area. So there is a membership here as well. There's a private membership as well. And so the upper floor of the clubhouse is for Club 1916 members. So we were in the ladies' locker room.
All right. Yes. When you talk about the lower level, that's not private? Like if you're playing golf here, you come downstairs?
Yes, that's open to the public. So our golf shop is downstairs, and then the Ryder Cup Grill restaurant is open to the public, is downstairs as well.
Anyone can come in the clubhouse, hang out in the lower level for the shop and the food.
Yes.
But then members can come upstairs.
Yes.
And there's, in addition to these really nice facilities, there's also a restaurant up here.
There's a restaurant up here for Club 1916 members.
Okay. And then I mentioned some of the other food around.
Yes.
In the district, there's Ice House, which is barbecue, right? And Lounge, which I'm describing the food there. It's American. Yes. Like more traditional food. And then there's the ice cream.
Margaret's Cups and Cones.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
Is it?
Yes, it's so good.
It's so cute that it's like right there on the edge of the green. Okay, so those are all kind of the things that I see. The biggest part of everything behind us are these 2 gorgeous championship courses.
Yes.
So I guess tell us, like from your point of view as a player, I am not someone who is qualified to play those courses. You hear me talk about the par 3. I can handle that, the 10 holes. That's perfect for me. So tell us about Fields Ranch East and West, and what you love about those, or what we should know about those.
Yes. So the East course is where the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship was held on. We'll be hosting LPGA event and then the PGA Championship in 2027.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll be hosting that on the East course, which is our championship course of the 2. It's very difficult. It's a beautiful golf course. Elevation on the greens, tighter fairways, really great bunker complexes and green complexes, really challenging to play.
Not a lot of room for margin of error, right? It's a precise, very skilled player.
Yes. The West course.
Which it should be,
yes. It's a championship golf course, and it's exquisite. The West course, also exquisite. It's much more friendly. Off the tee, you've got wider fairways. You've got more room for error, bailout shots. But still, once you get to the greens, really good green complexes, nice and challenging. Really good undulation to the greens. So it's a little bit more friendly, but there's still some challenge to that course.
So is that the more popular course, or do you see
I would say it's a little bit of a blend.
Okay.
So I would say that the West course is more friendly to your weekend golfer. That's how I would phrase it.
Yeah.
And the East course is more a golfer that really is coming for a special experience, wants a unique challenge, is more of a regular player. They would more gravitate toward the East course. We also have a caddy program here, and so caddies are required on the East course, and so that really elevates the experience as well too. And then the West, again, is just, it's a little bit more friendly. It's less challenging than the East.
Within the two, there are also ways to challenge a little more, right? Like where you're hitting from?
Yes, so we have 5 different tee boxes on the East course.
5? Okay.
Yes, and 6 different tee boxes
6? I didn't know that was...
on the West course.
I didn't know. I always thought there was like 3.
Yeah.
Because of where I play usually, like 3.
Sure.
So 5 and 6.
Yes.
Wow.
So a lot of different options as well, and that's a really good point to bring up. So, it helps make the experience maybe a little bit easier if people would play an appropriate tee box for them. We have ribbon tee boxes, is what they're called. So they kind of flow. So instead of having like a square tee box and then your next square tee box and then your next square tee box, the tee boxes actually flow into each other, and so you have room to really stretch the course as needed.
That's great. All right, when we talk about all these things from like end to end of what we have now, I guess what's still being built in the future and opening in the future and things, what gets you most excited about being here?
Most excited about being here is probably the district area, to be honest. I love that so many people are coming to visit this property, and that's where most of them are coming. We're finding that we're most busy in the evenings on Fridays and Saturdays. When it gets dark out, the lights are on, the music's playing, and you're seeing so many people come to this area. We're having so much demand. Operationally, it's we're trying to now adapt to our staffing levels and our hours of operation to meet such a high demand. I don't think we quite expected it to be that popular for this long.
Right.
And so that's really exciting.
Good.
It's really exciting to see people being introduced to the game, whatever stage in life they're at. They're being introduced to the game, they're coming out here and they're having fun. It's a social setting, they're bringing their friends, they're coming with their families, and it's not intimidating in any way.
For sure.
And that's what I'm most excited to see, a golf space that's so inviting.
Well, I can tell you one thing we love, not that you're asking for my feedback, but
Feedback's always good.
Whoever's idea it was to have country music playing on speakers. I don't know. Are there speakers on the dance floor?
Yes,
okay.
There are.
I feel like you could hear it everywhere. But when we were on, we had just made the turn wherever the margarita truck is. 4,
the Casamigos truck.
5.
Yep.
And we were coming up a hill. We were walking up. Maybe we had hit, and we were coming up to the green. We were enjoying all the music the whole time. But one of our friends, our longtime family friends, who played at our wedding, his song came on. And we were like, my husband and I, my whole family, we looked at each other and we're like, okay, this is like the coolest moment. We're playing in this gorgeous night, like the sun was setting, it was so pretty. We were having fun. And then Wade's song comes on. And I texted him and took a picture. I was like, I'm at PGA and your song's playing while I'm playing. And he's like, he's a golfer.
See, there's a memorable experience right there.
Super memorable. So kudos on the feel,
right,
being so casual and not intimidating, that you're listening to Shania and Garth and all the from my generation of country music, all of the music you love. So I love that.
Really fun
part of it. All right, one question more about your local piece here. So how do you feel your local connection kind of ties in? Do you feel like you have an extra like sense of pride for here than some other maybe non-local staffers, or are you bringing in like friends and family more often?
Yeah, so it's definitely really special, and it's very cool. I've gotten to see so many people that I knew from just growing up and from other clubs that I've worked at. I'm seeing so many people from like my past that are all coming to see this facility, and it's so cool to be able to show it off to everyone that comes. So that in itself is very exciting. I definitely have a ton of pride having this here and just being able to kind of operate this facility from scratch and figure out, we get to make our mark on this place, and we get to set the tone for, how we're going to start and make this a really popular attraction to come to. So that alone, I have a ton of it feels like ownership and pride that I want this experience to be wonderful. I want people to love it here. It's in my hometown. We get to operate this facility from the ground up and set the tone, set the experience. And so I think our whole team here feels so much pride to make this place the best that it can be. And that's a very common theme across our staff. I'm so lucky, the team that we have here. Everybody's, I think we should do this. Let's try this. This would be really fun. I don't think this worked so well, so let's try it this way. And everybody has that feeling that we're all trying to make this facility as amazing as it can be.
It sounds like a sense, like the energy, right?
Yes, it's very
positive. The energy
positive.
Putting into it and coming back from it.
Right.
It sounds like you guys feel it back from your guests.
Seeing so many people just come to the facility and just have fun being around the game of golf, I mean, that's kind of the empowerment that we need, that, okay, we're doing something right here.
All right, one last thing.
Sure.
I know I've talked to you for a while, so sorry, but I told you I could talk to you for a long time. Just in summary, what, in your role here, what do you want people to know when they haven't come here yet and they hear PGA Frisco or Fields Ranch in Frisco, Omni PGA Frisco Resort? What do you want people to know?
I want them to know that this facility is open for everyone. That's the biggest thing I want people to take away. I think golf has a bit of a stigma that you have to be a good golfer to go to a golf course, and that's not true here. There's opportunities for you to be new to the game, a novice golfer. It's just a social activity. And so I really want people to know that the dance floor is open to the public. It's free. If you want to rent a putter, you can, but it's free to just come out and spend time on the dance floor. You know, it's very affordable to go play the swing. It's 10 holes. It takes about an hour and a half to play. It's a great amount of time without committing your entire day to playing a round of golf. And then if you are a serious golfer that, you know, really loves the game, we have 2 amazing championship golf courses as well. In addition to all the other fun things that there are on property, I just love that so much is centered around the game of golf. So I just want people to know that please come. Even if, you know, you're not a serious golfer, please come to the facility and enjoy it.
That's great. Perfect way to wrap it all up. So Trish Holt, thank you for your time today.
My pleasure.
It is a Saturday morning out here, which is probably your crunch time.
It's pretty busy. Yeah, that's okay. It's all good.
I do appreciate you sitting down with me. And to everyone else, thank you for listening or watching this episode of Hustle and Pro. So you can catch us on video on YouTube, and you can hear us on basically any of your favorite podcast platforms. So be sure to subscribe so that you get a notification for our next episode. We'll see you next time.